In banks and financial institutions, economists and analysts have to stay alert to different data and announcement of policies in order to predict changes in the economy. The model of aggregate demand and aggregate supply is one of the fundamental tools that they often use for analysis. Nowadays, many families spend their savings on stocks and properties. When the stock market and housing market greatly fluctuate, the value of these families' wealth then follows the fluctuation of the markets. In this situation, how will the fluctuation of household wealth affect the real GDP and the price level? Firms will have certain expectations on the economic prospect before making investment decisions. Some organizations regularly conduct researches regarding commercial confidence. The results of those researches reflect whether the firms have held a positive or negative expectation on the economic prospect. Considering how changes in the business confidence index will affect the firm's investment, how will this affect the real GDP and the price level? The Hong Kong government puts forward different policies in the annual policy address and budget, which mostly affects the scale of government expenditure. What are the impacts on the real GDP and the price level, given that Hong Kong is a small open economy, which is affected by external economic factors and the world markets? If the American or European economies are in boom, China and the local exports will be benefited. What are the impacts on the local real GDP and the price level? Energy is indispensable to all production activities, but the price of energy is greatly influenced by the oil price. When the oil price increases significantly, it is very likely that the firms will have to face a higher production cost. What are the resulting impacts on the real GDP and the price level? In recent years, the rents of commercial buildings and retail space have been increasing continuously, raising the firm's production costs as a result. What will happen to the real GDP and the price level? If the government now announces a considerable increase in the funded university degree places, the government expenditure will surely increase and the number of university students will increase too. What will happen to the real GDP and the price level? Trading and logistic industries are important to the economy of Hong Kong. If the government announces to invest more in the cross-border transportation and the airport infrastructure, the local trading and logistic services will become more competitive. What will happen to the real GDP and the price level? Economics is one of the important tools for business analysis. After learning the aggregate demand and aggregate supply model, you will know more about how economic data, policies, and also external factors affect the real GDP and the price level in an economy.